everybody. We're on. Hi everybody. Welcome to Greystone Carving Studio. My name's Henry. I'm waving at the neighbours. This is a Friday Instagram live feed on the 3rd of September. Okay, yeah, 3rd of September. So before we start, I'm going to carry on with the flower and I'll show you that in a minute. But before we start, I'm just going to quick tour of the workshop. We've done a bit of a jiggery pokery moving about, ready for Monday's class. So Monday starts, we've got students coming on Monday morning and Monday evening. Class is still a couple of spaces left on the morning and spaces left on the Friday if anybody wants to sign up. And I just wanted to show you and reassure anybody who might be concerned or worried about COVID. So, as you enter this pristine workshop space, we've got a station where people can wash their hands, or we've got alcohol, sanitizer that people can use. And as you can see, we moved the bankers around, so there is 2 meters between every banker. So people have plenty of space. It's a 10, 11, 12. It's a 3-hour session on the morning and a 2.5-hour session in the evening. So nobody has to have a cup of tea, but I will be making people a cup of tea and I'll be taking precautions around that. And what I plan to do is everybody set up on their own bench, and once they're set up on their own banker, then that's where they'll be. And the kit they'll have is the kit they'll use, unless of course they desperately want a piece of kit somebody else has got, in which case we can sterilise the kit. We've got some squirty sanitizer that we can do that with. The other thing I wanted to say about the class is if anybody's concerned about if somebody goes down with COVID-19, what we will do is, I think I might have said this last week, we stop the classes for 2 weeks, see what the situation is, and then restart the classes and nobody loses anything. We finish the class, nobody the classes will carry on when we can. And that happens, that's the policy for the rest of this year. We're still to work out how to feed people on the Saturday class, because normally we do soup and bread and cheese and stuff like that, so we might have to do individual plated bits, and then I'll serve the soup with a mask on and all that. Also, students will be required to wear masks whilst they're here, which is not a bad thing anyway, since we're in a dusty environment. Right, so have I missed anything? If you are really worried about the uncertainty and you want to give yourself or somebody else a present, you could also buy vouchers on Greystone Carving Studio. So that's all the advertising out of the way. Now, oh look, fantastic. It's even got the right chisel. So last week we did, what did we do? We set it out, or we set it out the previous week. We set it out the previous week. We demonstrated about a template. Do you know where the template's gone? No. Template's disappeared, which is a bit unfortunate. All that hard work. Template's disappeared. So, and we dropped these panels down, as you can see, and then I remarked, using the template, I remarked the flower. Now, what the next stage is to kind of do the initial levels. So, and I want to say something about how we use these chisels, just a reminder for those who know, then close your ears. But the approach I have to using dummy and chisels. I put the chisel in my hand where my ring is, close my fingers around it, ignoring my thumb, and turn it over. and then I place my thumb on top, gently, and I'm barely holding it really. I'm just stopping it falling, and I'm not gripping it hard. I'm just very gently holding it. And then this, which is the trickier bit of kit to use, basically I'm concentrating on using the weight of the dummy rather than this kind of wrist action. So I'm trying to use the weight of the dummy. My wrist does move, but pretty much I put the emphasis on my biceps and then on my hand rather than working with my wrist. If you try and bam, 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 you will damage your wrist. The wrists don't like that very much. So, and the other thing about this is that I actually don't. Can you see where my elbows are? Yeah. Yep. My elbows are in the middle of my arm, between my hands and my shoulders. But I don't do this. I don't move my elbows much. You know, I don't do this when I'm carving. What I'm doing is I'm maintaining this structure. Yeah, tapping using my hand. Yeah, or using my biceps. Yeah, and if I want to go around a corner, I move my body, or I move my hips. In fact. Anyway, I stop doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so now I'm going round, and as you can see, this structure pretty much remains the same, and I'm moving my body I mean, you can do that, but I mean, it's easier just to go around the bank. So I started off coming in at 45 degrees, which I normally do. And the reason I come in at 45 degrees is if I try to come in steeper, it's likely the stone will burst out this side as much as this side. So initial cut, about 45 degrees. Take away this stone, remove this stone. Pocket got caught on the corner. And so also, I mean, I can come around that way. But as you can see, my elbows, the structure remains the same. Okay. And steeper. So now I am moving out of, I am moving a little bit out of so it is, you can chase it, but can you see I've pulled myself out of shape. But Jesus Christ, that's hard work. Or, there are other deities are available. Anyway, so almost vertical. So what I kind of want, not quite deep enough, I don't think. I would say that you know, half the distance between that. So that's 12 mil. That's 12 mil, half inch. 12 and a half inch. So we could have 6 mil easily. There you go. So. So, let me just show you on the board. I mean, you can see we've got our surface, we've got the centre of our flower, we've got the edge of our flower. Yeah? So what I want to do is cut cut a circle out, the centre of the flower, and cut this block out so that eventually we can have ourselves a little kind of dome in the middle. Yeah? Okay. So that's the plan, that's what we're trying to do. Make ourselves a little dome in the middle. We didn't sweep it up and throw it away, did we? The template.
I'll have it later. I'll have it later.
Oh, no, but I need it. Right, okay. So here we virtually. Leave it like that, just for the minute. Get a pencil. Now, wasn't it here? We just pull that round like that. So we redraw that line off with we just taken out. And now what we do is we want to differentiate each petal. So what we're going to do now is so what's happening why it's called ABC carving, because each stage is very straightforward, and it's actually you know, you want to be knocking out. So you have a flower, a petal going up, and then this side down. So you can get kind of industrial, you know, industrial with it. I mean, I know, you know, if you have a run of Tudor roses, or you know, we have lots of them to do, which is kind of rare now, but it does happen. You get into a rhythm and a routine, and I just picked up the bigger chisel because it's just easier to cut this chamfer. There. So you can see your ups and downs now. Alright. So now what you do is, let's draw a line with a thing. So this is kind of arbitrary really, but what I want to do is to create movement in the flower. I want the petals and in the flower and all, I want to go down like that, and then up, and then it goes down again. So what I want to do is kind of create a line. Yeah, I can do that. Create a line where I'm going to go down and then up. So I'm just going to. Now you could draw, you know, you can draw a little. Can you see? Can you suppose the easiest place to see it? Can you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
You could draw a little kind of, draw a little scoop if you wanted to, but actually, I'm just going to go down. And to be honest, I'm going to use this because it's a softer blow. Nice thing about mallets. Let me do that one. And actually, quite liking so this, you know, so I'm going down and then so I'm quite enjoying the actually, because what I'm carving then is I'm actually carving that like that. I'm not Okay. Here we are. So we got to this stage. These straight, really relatively quick. So what you find with carving is that the kind of blocking out is the thing that really takes the time. So, and the other thing about this is, it's in the middle. So it's the S shape again. Okay, so here we are. It's time. I think we stop there. So you can see the beginnings of the flower. This will be the central vein of the flower. So the next thing to do, and we'll do this next week, is we'll use a bullnose or a gouge and we will scoop these petals. So the scoop will still go down and up and down, but there will be left a central rib in the flower. So you have this dynamic feeling. So such a simple bit of, such simple techniques, as you can see. They're all chamfers and one scoop so far, and it's not, you know, it's very simple. And the next thing is you just get a gouge or a bullnose that you like. The the radius of, and you go for it. And I'll do that next week, and I'll finish it off next week probably. We'll probably get it done. Anything else? No, that. Have a lovely week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was useful. I've been watching people on YouTube and things like that, and they say please like, and the other thing they say is subscribe. So may the force be with you. Cheers.